Hello there, I'm Michael Fish and welcome to a look at the bank holiday weather courtesy of Netweather.tv. Now, bank holiday Monday is of course the last day of August, and that's also, as far as the Metaverse is concerned, the last day of summer, and it'll give them an opportunity to have a look at just how bad or even how good their summer forecast was. Of course, all the hype in the press, I think most of it was totally unjustified, because I'm sure when they do the statistics they'll find in fact that this summer was indeed better than the last two summers. I certainly had my barbecue out quite often, and not only that, it turned out to be fairly warm as well. Now, the summer months have all been characterised by blocking weather patterns. In other words, we've had the same weather week after week. June had a lot of dry, sunny and very warm weather. July was just the opposite, often very wet and cool and quite windy on occasions. And then August, we've had the north-south split. We've had northern parts of the country with a lot of rain and some strong winds, whereas the southeast hasn't fared too badly and has stayed, for the most part, reasonably dry. And I think that north-south split is going to continue over the weekend and possibly into next week as well. Let's have a look at the sequence of Atlantic pressure charts, and I think you can see exactly what I mean. More areas of low pressure brewing up over the Atlantic, heading in towards the British Isles, mostly just staying off the northwestern corner there, but some of them run across the north of Scotland, and come next week, middle of next week, we might well find some of those areas of low pressure tending to move a little bit further southwards. Incidentally, mixed in there later on in the middle of next week will be the remains of the tropical storm Danny, just as we had the ex-hurricane Bill come across us just recently. If we have a look at what we now call the thickness charts, that gives you an indication of the warmness and the coolness of the air, and you see it's a sort of hiccupy motion. Every now and again warm bubbles of air move across the more southern parts of the country, that's the pink and red shades, and then that's replaced by the cooler weather, the green shades, coming along from time to time as well. So temperature is going to be up and down like a yo-yo, as well as everything else. And then we'll look at the precipitation, and I think the thing that's most obvious there, at least over the bank holiday weekend, is the same thing that we've been having recently, in that a lot of the rain, if not most of the rain, is going to be in northern and western parts of the country, and southeastern areas probably not faring too badly at all. So let's have a look at the day-to-day situation. As far as Friday goes, very unseasonable, a bit of a taste of autumn if anything. It's going to be a very windy day. There's going to be gales even across some northern parts, especially into Scotland, and there will be a lot of showers around, some of those showers quite heavy with hail and thunder. I think the southeastern part of the country least likely to get those very heavy showers. In fact, some of the showers merging to give some spells of quite heavy rain across the north of Scotland. And a coolish day too, temperatures in the north 16 to 17 degrees or so, a little bit better in the south between 18 and 20 degrees. Now on Saturday we continue to have some showers and windy weather in the more northern parts of the country, especially the northern half of Scotland. For most of England and Wales it should, I think, be a generally fine day, and temperatures 17 to 19 degrees or so in the north, 20 to 22 degrees or so in the south. On Sunday, one or two showers around in the north of Scotland to begin with. Otherwise, I think many parts are going to start the day fine and dry, but another spell of fairly windy weather, cloudy conditions too, with outbreaks of rain, will spread to many northern and western parts of the country during the latter part of the day. But I think southeastern areas will stay dry, although tending to cloud over. And as a result, in the south, temperatures not too bad, 20 to 22 degrees, between 18 and 20 degrees in the north. Now on Bank Holiday Monday, it looks as if there could well be some outbreaks of rain around across Scotland and Northern Ireland, some parts of Cumbria as well. But for most of England and Wales, I think, although there'll be some cloud around to begin with, and maybe a few spots of drizzle, it will be not too bad a day. In fact, brighter weather will edge up from the south probably as the day wears on. And it does mean to say that the southeast of England may well have a very pleasant day indeed, dry with a fair amount of sunshine, and very warm with it, the temperature of 26 or even 27 degrees. And then looking sort of later in the week for Tuesday, a hot start I think in the southeastern corner of the country. That could trigger a few thundery showers. But otherwise, I think very gradually during the course of next week, the unsettled weather is going to set in more and more, spreading further and further southwards. So I think we're all going to have some fairly windy weather, especially in the north, with some rain from time to time. Now, over the weekend we have a lot of events taking place, not least of all the Notting Hill Carnival. And I think that's going to be really good, actually, especially on the Monday itself, the big day, because it will be very warm indeed, and there should be a fair amount of sunshine. Now, Blair Castle in Scotland, between Perth and Inverness, not so good for the international horse trials there, because I think because it's in Scotland there will often be some fairly windy and wet weather from time to time. But because you've got a little bit of a shelter from the hills, I wouldn't rule out at least a little bit of brightness and some glimmers of sunshine from time to time. And then we have the World Bog Snorkelling Championships, would you believe, at Llanwrtyd in Wales. And although that's going to be on Bank Holiday Monday, and although there could be some early drizzle, I think by and large it should be an okay day. Although, of course, after all the rain just recently, those bogs are really going to be boggy. But it'll be brightening up during the course of the day and not too bad, probably later on. So whatever you're doing this Bank Holiday weekend, I hope you enjoy yourselves, and I hope the weather stays quite nice for you. And from me, a very good afternoon.